Hello, everybody, again. Aaron and Alicia. Small escapes. What's our motto?
Small escapes, big adventures.
Big adventures. So, one video down. Doing another one. If you watched the first one, you know we're in the same clothes.
10 minutes ago.
We do have a new drink.
What are you drinking?
Gin and tonic. That's kind of my summer drink. It's warm. We didn't say on the last video, it's my birthday today.
It is your birthday. Happy birthday, baby.
Hey, thanks. It's very good to come down here for my birthday. So I'm closer to 50 now than I am 40. I turned 45 today. So far it's been relaxing. What do we do? You got me some donuts. I used to be a huge fan of donuts. I ate it probably when I worked at Kellogg. I'd probably get them twice a week. Shout out to Lamar's. Damn good donuts. But then hit the golf course a little bit. Tried to figure out how to hit a driver. Both of us.
I didn't get mine out.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh.
As you said, if I can't hit with my 7, I'm not going to hit with my driver.
Yeah.
I'm a baby golfer, guys. Like, baby.
But this is part of
A
our
month in.
This is part of our adventure.
Right.
Right?
This is one of our, new adventures.
Again, this is something we were going to take up when the kids were gone. We're like, why wait?
Why wait?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this year we got a membership to a very cheap golf course.
It's cute.
It's a cute course.
Just my speed.
It's perfect. It's fun.
Yes.
There's no sand. There's no water. There's no elevation change.
No.
It's perfect. And
Yeah.
it's out in the middle of nowhere. And they have great country music on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So it's just very laid back.
Very chill.
So, yep.
So, yeah, we golfed a little and
Went and had lunch at, what was it called? The food truck.
food truck called the Witching Hour.
The Witching Hour.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Really good burger.
Yeah.
A little weird on the setup. A lot of horror movie props, but it was really good. Good food.
It was fun.
Went and had a margarita outside.
Mm-hmm.
When we're done with this, we're just gonna chill and grill some good steaks tonight.
Yep.
And wear less clothing and relax.
Yep.
In the hot tub. I mean, it's a little warm, so we're not spending a ton of time in the hot tub.
But the nights have been cool, so the hot tub has felt good.
Yep. So we're recording this May 30th. Take note, my birthday. It really was like October 28th or 21st. I think it was October 21st. That was the first guest that we had.
Yeah, it's about 6 months.
Yeah. So we had our first guest.
We also realized on this trip that it was almost exactly 2 years ago that we came down here for the first time.
Yes.
To do a scouting trip, just to see if this is where we even wanted to be, and we left like 3 days later as property owners. We went and sat at that winery and thought about it over a glass of wine for about a half hour.
That was not a good winery.
And it was not a good winery. But we sat there and we're like, all right, let's do it. And we called the realtor and put in an offer.
Okay, so let's take a half step back. Right? Like, we wanted to do our first property. Why didn't we do right around Omaha?
Because why would anyone want to go to Omaha? You don't go there for like an adventure.
No.
And so, but we wanted to build our first one somewhat close-ish to home instead of having it to be a plane ride away. We thought drive away so that we can get there if we need to be there.
Because we had no freaking clue what we were doing.
We had no clue. Oh my gosh.
Neither of us had ever built. Neither of us had ever owned our own company. Neither of us had ever owned real estate. Like, we were completely clueless, right? Yeah.
That's an understatement. But we were thinking we love like the Kansas City area. There's a little town near Kansas City that we love called Weston with a lot of there's some wineries and stuff and breweries and shops, and we're like, that'd be a good spot.
They have a couple on Airbnb, but it was like you have to rent it for 30 days.
Oh yeah, that's dumb. That's right. So yeah, we're like, well, no, but we love Branson area, and we take our kids there a lot, and so we're like, well, not a lot, a few times. So we're like, let's go there. But then Aaron was talking to our worship pastor at our church about it. just chatting, and he was like, well, if you like the Ozarks area, go a little bit further south and check out Northwest Arkansas. And we're like, Arkansas? I had no idea how beautiful this part of the country is. It's like a little hidden gem.
Oh, it is unreal. Yeah, I mean, so we came down here for a scouting trip. We just bought a Jeep. Right? We just bought our Jeep. And we came down here.
Brought her down.
As soon as we got down here, like you're driving down and it's just flat and boring. And then all of a sudden you turn onto Highway 71.
Like around the Joplin area. Right after that, it's like...
It starts to get hilly.
Where are we?
There's rock. There's trees.
Gorgeous.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
So there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles of mountain biking trails.
It is. They claim it's the mountain biking capital of the world.
I agree.
I mean, people come from all over the place.
But this is one concentrated area.
So many trails.
That you can't go 5 minutes without seeing a car with bikes on it.
Yeah, I mean, the trail is literally, how many yards is that away?
50 yards?
Yeah, like we're on the trail.
Yeah, we're on the trail. And so we came here, loved the rolling hills. Bentonville, we absolutely love. Downtown Bentonville is gorgeous and would absolutely have loved to have a place in downtown Bentonville, but we don't have $1 million. So we started driving through here, and just this community was beautiful. It's hilly, tree-lined roads. There's no curb and gutter. So it just feels like you're driving through the country, but you're in a town of 30,000 people. We're driving through here and just absolutely fell in love. So we got on, I don't even know what website, real estate website, and looked, and we were just blown away because lots in this area were just dirt cheap. And so like you could get a lot for $3,000 and put a house on it, which is just crazy. They're $100,000 in Bentonville. Yeah. And so we just happened to see this one that had 2 lots side by side. We started looking at the criteria. We knew coming in here that we wanted to build small, 2 people. And it just so happened these 2 lots were here. And this happens to be the area in Bella Vista where 900 square feet is the minimum square footage, where other places it's 1,200 or 1,500 or 1,800. So this design, how about the design? So I think I originally found the design. Should have had the in front of me, but we, once we had this idea, we started following people on Instagram, and I found a place for a simple, unique design. They were in Vermont. They're out of Vermont, and I just love the design, and so I reached out to them for plans, and they didn't really have plans. They kind of did it all themselves and kind of did that. So they gave me a little bit of what they had, but I had pictures, and then I just worked with Jonathan.
So then we did it all ourselves.
Yeah. So we just talked with Jonathan, and he came up with renderings, and
we had the idea, and like we kind of painted the picture and sketched it out for him, and he made it come to life.
Right. So we had the idea because there's just so many windows on the backside, and that's what we wanted, looking out into nature.
Because this view
is what makes
absolutely. I mean, this it's not doing it justice what you can see.
The view you're seeing is what you see when you wake up in the morning, when you're sitting in the living room, when you're in the kitchen, cooking something on the stove.
Drinking your morning coffee.
This is the view you see.
Yeah.
So we did that, but if you remember we said we need minimum 900 square feet. And so we're like, okay, we got to tweak the design a little bit because we didn't want a huge footprint. So we decided to make it a little taller, and we added a loft. Not an official bedroom, but that loft gave us an extra 100 square feet that we needed to hit the 900 square feet minimum. Our back is a 20-foot wall of windows. Just basically solid windows. Obviously, you had to do some structural stuff. So there's not fully solid windows, but pretty much a solid window. So that's where we came up with the design. So it's one master bedroom with a walk-in closet,
Mm-hmm.
with a loft. Not really a second bedroom for sure, but 2 queen beds.
Mm-hmm.
So like, talk more. You were more the interior designer for the
Well,
inside.
it's fun because we've stayed at a lot of Airbnbs, rental properties over the years, and it's like, so I knew kind of what to do, what not to do, what worked, what didn't, what made me feel welcome and cozy and whatnot. So I had a list going of things that I loved about certain ones and that I didn't like about other ones, and I just really wanted to make it trendy and crisp and clean. I want my place to be modern and crisp and clean with no clutter. I hate clutter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mom of 5 kids, so you can imagine, like, there's clutter, and so like I wanted this place to be an oasis of no clutter and just crisp. I'm a florist, so I love like the live plant aspect. So we have live plants in there, and so it was just really fun to have a blank slate for me to do my thing. Like, I'm not an interior designer, but I feel like I have a pretty good eye for it, and I'm a creative mind anyway. So for me, it was so fun to just like have that blank slate and just do what I wanted to do. And I had so much fun shopping for it. My sister and I took a day and we just went to all the little boutiques and shopping and had lunch and just made a fun day out of it, of shopping. And Ash helped me pick out the furniture, and like it was just so much fun. But I also had a bigger role in the general contractor side of this build.
Yeah. So, again, we talked about how naive we were with all this. We've been talking about Jonathan Curtis Design, and Jonathan and Ashley were partners with us in this at the beginning.
Some of our besties.
Yep, still our besties.
Love them to death. Big part of this project.
So Jonathan was going to be the general contractor from 6 hours away in an area he's never been to. We've never been to. And that was the start.
State he's never worked in.
State he's never worked in.
Contractor in.
Jonathan has a great reputation in Lincoln as a billion different subcontractors to use.
Doing all the rules, all the laws.
But things are different in Arkansas. And so that was this, this from the beginning, it was so painful with this process.
Let's just say in a polite way, this city has a lot of ass backwards rules.
Oh, God.
And
Jonathan.
Regulations.
Yeah, we'll have to get Jonathan on here sometime to.
He could talk about that.
Because things are just done differently here.
All of the flaming hoops we had to jump through.
Holy cow.
To just even get our designs approved, to even like put a shovel in the fucking ground was an act of God himself.
So we had to get our drawings approved.
Mm-hmm. Had to hire an attorney at one point.
From the architectural committee, which is normal, but we had a design. It's a little unique, but it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Black windows, white exterior. It's beautiful, and we were initially denied because it said that it looked like a shed. If maybe we'll show you the neighbors across the street when we do this, but
you don't want to see them.
Great people, but there's some houses around here that are just they're modular homes basically, and so it's like our place is going to be far better than that.
Taken care of. And the community was originally built as a retirement community, and there's just a lot of tradition and people stuck in their ways and not very progressive thinking minds that are in charge.
Now, I will give it to them. This area in the last 5 years has exploded.
It has.
And so you get a lot of people. When we first started this journey 2 years ago, we looked and we're like, we're building here because there's nothing. And now that we're finished, we have a dozen or two competitors that have designs similar to us, have uniqueness, they have hot tubs. Like
similar
but
vision.
We're still popular because it's just booming here. Yeah. But anyway, it was tough. We had to hire an attorney to get our design approved, and that it was difficult. I mean, in every step of the way, was difficult.
I remember when we were, like, they dug the foundation. And then we had our, I think it was April-ish, April, it was March of 22.
Felt the raindrop.
Oh, and we had some bricklayers who were scheduled to come from Lincoln, some of Jonathan's contacts.
Oh, I didn't even talk about that. Oh my God. Forgot about them.
Through a series of events, they couldn't come. Like a couple of days before they were going to come down here and lay our foundation, they couldn't come.
Yep.
And so then we had to like pause and be like, okay,
What
now what? What are we going to do? And that was a time where it was like, we had already jumped through so many hoops and spent so much prayer and time that it was just another kind of like knife twist in the heart. And just to bring a little bit of emotion to it, like I was on a trip with my parents and my sister, just a little, our family trip to go see my grandpa in Texas. And you called me and you were like, the foundation guys can't make it. The concrete companies down there are months out in delivering concrete.
Yep.
So it was like pushing our schedule back. And we had already been pushed back so much. And the cool thing, you probably can't see it, but I have a tattoo right here called He Won't. It says He Won't right here. And there's a song talking about the faithfulness of God and like, He's never failed me yet. Like He won't, basically thing. Like He's faithful. He's never failed me. He won't fail me. I'm getting the words wrong right now in this moment, but I remember just crying, and I was looking at my tattoo, and I went for a run, and I played that song on repeat over and over as I was running in Waco, Texas, and just having this moment of like, okay, God, we know you want us to do this. You brought us this far, and at this, we haven't even like put one piece of building material into this damn place yet. We dug a hole at that point, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we can't be done now. And I'm like, but you won't fail me. You won't. He won't. And so I just kept like grabbing this and like singing that song. And like, I forget all the details of how we came to where we got the foundation laid, but we did.
Yep.
I think we switched it from a poured concrete one to a brick one.
Yes.
And that's how we block one, and that's how we got around. So that was just one of like the little obstacles, one of the many obstacles that we went through. But then shortly, I mean, Jonathan and his team came down and framed, and they did a beautiful job. We came down while they were framing and looked at it, and that was kind of another emotional moment. Like, it looks like a house. Like, there's structure.
Holy cows, we have a structure here.
It was so exciting. But then shortly after that, just a lot of things happened with, Jonathan and his business and family and us, and we were just like, basically, like, it wasn't going to work out for him to continue to be the general contractor from 6 hours away, and focus his attention on his business and his family like he needed to. So we're like, well, kind of like bought him out, so to speak, and then we're like, well, now, like, I guess I'm the general contractor. Me. I'm a florist.
You had to quit your job.
And a mom. I mean, I had already quit my job.
Right. But I'm saying you didn't.
So I had the time, basically.
Yes, you had the time.
I could do it because I quit my job.
I still I'm at CFO system, so I did not have time to be a general contractor.
I quit my job to get this business off the ground. And yes, it was summer and the kids were home, but our kids are teenagers, so they didn't need as much attention. And I'm like, all right.
Let's do it.
I can do this.
Let's do it.
Let's do this. So cheers, knowing nothing about construction or contracting but I mean, it was a lot, and it was a lot of trial and error, and I knew absolutely nothing. And I learned a lot. But it was kind of a fun growing experience for me too.
Oh, you get that.
I stepped out of my comfort zone so much. The first time I had to call like a siding contractor, for example, and pretend like I knew what the hell I was talking about.
And again, shout out to Jonathan. He helped us a lot through that. Yeah. We bounced so many questions off him. I know he wasn't the GC, but we're still bouncing a lot of questions off him.
He was like our GC consultant. I couldn't have done it without him, because I would text him and be like, this guy gave me this quote. I feel like he's overcharging me. What do you think? He'd be like, yeah, that's way too much, or no, that's fair, or whatever. And so, but I mean, we got through it and we got built, and I would do some things differently, but I think the moral of the story at the end of the day is hire a local general contractor.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
And
mean,
we just
it's,
didn't know that, and
again, it's naiveness,
yeah. So
but it's here. Shout out to Brian at, was it-
Ozark Deck Company.
oh my gosh.
He was our favorite contractor by far.
He made us a gorgeous deck.
It's our favorite place to
He
be in the
saved
whole world.
our ass with a front little pergola, not pergola, dormer, portico. He built our carport.
Yeah, the idea. Didn't he have the idea of only making this like one continuous thing instead of doing stairs?
Oh my god. Well, Jonathan first had the idea of not having stairs because the stairs went to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But then Brian had the idea of, well, let's extend this. Mm-hmm. And like that was the best decision, I think, of this whole design that we made.
He reinforced it so we could have this big ass hot tub, which has like been our like key feature.
Another shout out to Jonathan for getting that down here.
That could be a whole nother video.
Oh my gosh,
the building of this took about a year and a half. Not quite.
It took about a year and a half. About 30 to 40% over budget. Mm-hmm. Because everything took longer. We had multiple contractors who said they were going to show up, and then they just didn't show up, and then they ghosted us. Mm-hmm. I guess so hard. We were towards the end, and we had the inspector come in for final inspection.
Oh my god, the inspection!
And we failed.
For really stupid shit.
Yeah, the Bella Vista inspectors were tight, but they worked with us.
Yeah, we got it.
They helped us. They knew we're beginners. There's a few things inside. Oh, we had a spiral staircase. We'll show you that. Beautiful.
Don't ever order a spiral staircase kit from Lowe's.
Yeah. We had to we had to do that twice. No, three times. Three times
we had to take
it all the way apart and put it back together. Yeah. And then even the last time, it's still off by half an inch. Mm-hmm. Half an inch on the spiral staircase was preventing us from getting our certificate of occupancy. And we had to build this god-awful ugly landing pad so we could pass our inspection. And again, Brian did that for us. Mm-hmm. Way out of his thing. Brian of Ozark Deck Company. Perfect. Like, if you're in Northwest Arkansas and you need a deck or basically anything, reach out to him. He is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Love him.
Great guy. Yeah. Great craftsmanship. Mm-hmm. Love it. So the last thing that we had to pass with our inspection, we wanted to keep it natural looking. But
we don't have to pay someone to mow the lawn all summer long.
Well, and we don't really have a lawn. We don't want to have a lawn. We want it to just look like you're part of nature. That's why we have all the windows. That's why we have the deck with no railing, with the wire.
Yeah.
But the inspectors didn't like that because there's erosion control. And so we thought we found someone that could come and give us a beautiful wildflower mix.
It was going to be a wildflower mix with no maintenance.
No maintenance. The tops it would get is foot high. Gosh. We got a freaking jungle.
If I stood down there, you wouldn't be able to see me, I don't think.
No. Who knows what we got down there?
It's so tall.
But it's still beautiful.
It's beautiful. And it does look natural.
Oh.
But just so many little things that set us back. And there were definitely moments that we succumbed to like frustration and anger. And I said a lot of words out of anger that, were not very nice. But I think the thing that we took home from this the most was that I'm so glad we did it this way, even though we made so many mistakes, even though we got into more debt than we anticipated when we started out. That could be a whole nother video too.
It will be.
That you're going to be all by yourself in, because I don't do numbers. But the main thing is that we've learned so much. And we still don't know all there is to know about this. But what we know now from what we knew a year and a half, 2 years ago is like vastly, like we got an education fast. And we got it the hard way, but now we know. And I think that all of those lessons are invaluable. And for our next build, at first we were like, we're not building again for 3 years.
Never.
We're just going to flip homes and have them as small escapes. And that's where we got into trouble with like getting ahead of ourselves and trying to buy a condo to flip. And we're like, no, this is not our brand. We're building unique designs. And so now we know we want to do builds and probably only builds. And yes, we're going to have to take a bigger pause in between now. But we know so much more now, and we know the path that we need to be on, and we know what to do and what not to do. And so I think the education that this trial by fire gave us was invaluable, and I wouldn't change it.
No, looking
I
back,
wouldn't change it. I mean, there's some things about
it wasn't smooth.
the
but
property that maybe I would change now, looking back of like, you know, whatever. But ultimately, like, we learned so much, and that's only going to help us in our future endeavors, and it's going to make us stronger as a company, and it made us stronger as a couple. It really solidified our working relationship and how we run a business together. So I mean, was it Kelly Clarkson? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger? I must just start singing it, but we probably don't want to do that.
Well, you can sing it. Nobody wants to hear me sing it. No, it's yes, there's a few things we tweak, but this is like coming down here, all the difficulties we had, this is just an oasis. Like this, we've been down here for 4 days. This has been a total recharge.
Yeah.
So peaceful. Every single person who comes through here loves this place. Just, I do want to say a shout out. The guests I was most scared about, there were 5 20-something-year-old men here. We're only supposed to have 4. It's already over.
They snuck someone
else in. They came in with coolers full of beer. Our cleaning lady said when she pulled up, the garbage can was overflowing with beer cans. And I was scared to death that this place was going to be trashed. And she said it was one of the cleanest times she's ever seen here from guests.
Those boys had good mamas.
So shout out to you 20-something-year-old men who are here golfing, having the time of your life, but left our place nice. Thank you.
Oh, it's really starting to rain now.
It's starting to come down, but this is Small Escapes. This is Aaron and Alicia.
Talk to you later.
Small Escapes, Big Adventures.
Big adventures.
Focused on marriage, right?
Yeah.
Is it raining?
It's raining.
We should get out of here.